Okay, so for today's assignment for your wire game project, this is where I'm trying to make it more complicated, where there'll be let me draw over here. You're going to have an LED strip. Uh, so a strip, and you can use your old one. It has 6 lights. This one only requires 5, and it's the WS2812 individually addressable. And if you remember, it has I don't remember if this is its exact order, but it's like ground, 5 volts, and then there's the data pin. This is where the data goes to tell what lights to go on. So, so I wanted it to blink 10 times green, then stay on, then 10 times green for the second one, 10 times green for the third one, so on. And so that there's like a timing mechanism, and when all of them turn green, they turn full red and the buzzer goes off. So you are going to have a buzzer. So I'll just go ahead and put a buzzer. I'll just put buzz. And your buzzer, just use a simple one. It's easier with a positive and a negative, And it's going to have this. And I also wanted to add a reset button, so like an actual just button. And if you use the ones with a JST wire, there's a 3-wire JST connector to it. Those have a positive, so 5 volts, and then there's like a ground. I don't remember the exact order of this one either. And then, so I'll just write them here. And so pay attention to what it says on the board. And then of course there's the signal. It says S. So this is the signal or the data pin or whatever you want to call it. And I think this is pretty much it. Now, of course, you're going to have your wand still, like this. And you have your loop, your big wire loop. And so the first thing we're going to do is look at the code real quick. And it says there's a button start reset. So that's pin 3. So right here, this button, make sure this goes to 5 volts. This goes to ground on your Arduino. Okay, you could figure that out. I'm not going to run those wires. And then the signal wire, of course, is going to go to pin 3. Then let's look at the next code right here. Button action 2. Button action is this right here. It's this loop system right here. It's like a button. When you touch this to there, it connects, and when you're not, it doesn't. So it acts like a button. So that I just called it that. So of course this wire will run to pin 2, and this wire, so your big wire, will run to ground. And by the way, you can do the opposite. You can put this to ground and this to pin 2. It doesn't matter. What happens is the ground wire, this one, will go to pin 2, which pulls it down, and it knows that you've touched the wire. That's all. That's how that works. And you guys already kind of did that, I think, yesterday or the other day. Um, Buzzer is pin 13, so it says right here. Right here is buzzer pin 13. So let's go there. And this is easy. Ground. This goes right here to ground. So I'll just put ground. The same one right here is fine. And this is going to go to pin 13. So this is always getting negative. And when pin 13 goes high, this turns positive and buzzes it. But when pin 13 is low, it sends a ground. And of course, a ground and a ground doesn't make the buzzer go at all. And then the last one is this one right here, because this is not a pin. This just says you're stating how many LEDs you have. And I told you we're going to use 5. If your LED strip has 6, it's okay. It still works. It's the same. So this one is using pin 6. So right here, we're going to take this to 5 volts, which you know where the 5 volts is. It's over here. And the ground, you know where the ground is. It's right here. And then this data pin is going to go to pin 6. If you have to solder one of these, go ahead. If you want to use the flexible wires for any of these, go ahead. But when you get to the Arduino, the flexible wires don't go too well, so you'll need to twist on or solder a solid core wire, the breadboard wire, to your flexi wires, because I do have flexible stranded wires too, if you want to use them. So this is pretty much it. Take a picture, take a screenshot. This code is on, I copy and pasted this code in your Google Classroom. And Lastly, for you guys, don't forget to include this uh, library, and hopefully you guys remember how to do that. If you don't, you can always look it up, but it's pretty much Sketch, and then include library, and then manage libraries, and then you got to find that Adafruit one right here. And that should be it. Hopefully you get as much done as possible. Tape your project and your Arduino and everything together with a little bit of tape, so they're not all falling apart. So when you come in next time, it'll be hopefully mostly done.